tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know? You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know?
Never, in no world, would I hand him over to someone like that, who at a minimum, you know, is a rap star in a very controversial industry full of debauchery.
People take for granted encounters.
Each other's, it's a spread, it's happiness.
Right.
Truly happiness.
What up, man? How you doing?
That's where that.
What's up, dog?
Good.
It rains on the just and the unjust.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do everything right, and then your life is full of resentment then. Because you're like,
right.
well,
You're gonna go bad at one point.
1,000%.
Justin Bieber's new statement about Diddy and Ashton Kutcher has the internet in a chokehold. Because the moment he finally spoke out, the entire Hollywood rumor mill exploded. And suddenly, old interviews, old friendships, and old party stories are being replayed frame by frame like people are trying to solve a mystery in real time. And in the middle of all this, Jaguar Wright is back in the spotlight with claims that line up a little too perfectly with the questions people are now asking. According to her, Ashton Kutcher's rise, his friendships, and even his love life were never as clean and simple as Hollywood made them look. She said that before Ashton became the wholesome comedy guy, he was already orbiting the same circles as Diddy. Circles that now look a lot darker after everything that's come out. The same circles that Justin Bieber suffered in.
You know, seems like you would be more interested in that, like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher were before Ashton and his Diddy partying became a set. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's government-based going on. You got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with their daughters.
Jaguar also brings up Danny Masterson, reminding everyone that Ashton publicly supported him back in the day. And now, with Masterson behind bars and all the investigations around him, people are looking back at Ashton's support with a lot more suspicion than before.
Damn.
And then there's the Danny Masterson connection too, who Vlad, if I am correct, and Ashton Kutcher both vouch for. These are weird people.
But the part that's blowing up the most is when she brings up Justin Bieber. She talks about an old interview where Justin was emotional talking about Billie Eilish. He said, "I just want to protect her. I want her to be safe."
I wanted to protect the moment. You know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm gonna get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're gonna get with anybody. I mean, I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know? You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know? And yeah.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah. So yeah. I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So, yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
At the time, people thought he was just being sweet. But now, after everything happening with Diddy? After what Justin just said publicly? Jaguar claims Justin was speaking from experience, that he knows exactly how dangerous Hollywood can get for young artists. And after the recent allegations involving minors in Diddy's circle, people online are saying Justin's comments may just be a cry for help.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
Before we...
You notice Billie Eilish's career has slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Why? She had that Bond movie song she was doing, so it ain't... Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
It all builds into the same idea. Nothing in Hollywood happens by accident. It's all engineered, and often the people at the top prey on the most vulnerable, which in this case happened to be a very young, ill-protected Justin Bieber.
I have been holding back tears watching all of the Justin Bieber clips that have been floating around. I've watched every single one of them. Yeah. Every single one, and boy, they all look disgusting. Yeah.
And this is exactly why Justin Bieber's new statement is going viral. He said the allegations tying him to anything involving Diddy's reported crimes are false. He explained that he stepped away from the spotlight because he wanted a quieter life, a safer life, and didn't want to distract from the victims who are speaking out. But his statement didn't calm the internet. It made people look even harder. Because now everyone is wondering, why did Justin feel the need to say anything at all? Why now? And was he protecting himself? Or protecting someone else?
I think Ashton Kutcher is problematic because if you recall, he and his wife defended Danny Masterson, who is a serial rapist and was convicted of rape. I think he's away for life. They wrote letters to the judge. That's right. Saying they would let Danny watch their daughter alone. I mean, vile. I don't trust that guy at all. With Usher and Bieber, hypothetically, we don't know anything. But were they victimized by Diddy at young ages? You know, you just never know what was done to them. What was done to him? His parents threw him to the wolves, literally. What mother would give her 15-year-old over to Sean Combs for a weekend? Who would do that? No matter how badly your son and you want him to become a star.
Did we learn nothing from Michael Jackson?
Yeah, right.
You know, when that documentary, that HBO documentary came out, which I could only watch the first part of it because it was so dark and so upsetting, because it was just all of these mothers feeding their young sons, knowing what was going on most likely, and they didn't care. And the damage is lifelong. And this is a betrayal on so many levels. But watching that, I was having the same thought. Like, what mother is giving their 15-year-old boy over to a grown man for 48 hours to go buck wild? Like,
I have a son who is turning 15 in a week. 15 is young. They're young. These are not men yet. They are still boys figuring it all out. Even if you have a mature, really smart, awesome one like I do, never, in no world, would I hand him over to someone like that, who at a minimum, you know, is a rap star in a very controversial industry full of debauchery.
Some people are saying Justin is trying to distance himself from everyone tied to Diddy before things get worse. Others think he knows more than he's saying. And Jaguar writes comments are adding fuel to the fire, especially her claim that young stars often see and experience things they can't talk about until years later. Justin Bieber's new statement had already thrown gasoline on a fire. But once Candace Owens joined the conversation, things went from internet rumor to full-blown cultural earthquake. Because instead of repeating gossip, Candace came forward with something she called a God thing.
I have another crazy inside Hollywood scoop for you guys today, this time pertaining to Justin Bieber. This is crazy. Daily Mail, last 48 hours. Here are some headlines. Inside Kendall and Kylie Jenner's desperate attempts to help Hailey and Justin Bieber amid split speculation. Justin Bieber reacts to wife Hailey hitting an event without him amid rumors of a marriage breakdown. I'm told that Justin Bieber, just like Michael Jackson, is engaged in a war against musical executives, except the musical executives have gotten smarter over time. He wants out of Hollywood. He does not care about the money. He wants out. It is the same war which was fought by Michael Jackson. It is the same war which was fought by Ye. Okay? The talent is you, Justin Bieber. And if you are wanting to, as you have demonstrated, lean into this next phase of your life where it is about family and it is about Christ, then know that there is absolutely nothing that can stop you. Just speak. Literally, I am begging you. Forget the contracts, them all. We're coming to the courtroom with you. Just speak. You have the strength to do that. Justin Bieber. So what is your take there?
He's not going after the whole industry. It really feels like this one is kind of Scooter specifically taking personal offense to what's going on here. And Scooter kind of got trapped in the middle of this deal with Hybe.
Discuss a bit about the deal with Hybe.
So Scooter was hemorrhaging his clients. Scooter's very well known in the industry for not being, shall we say, the nicest guy to work with or for. Over and over, artists throughout his career have left him and said that he's great until he doesn't need you anymore, and then you're discarded. And Justin was like his last big name. And he sold his whole business, Ithaca Holdings, to Hybe, which is the K-pop company, which is very like the Korean mafia of music. And he sold what he had for $1 billion to Hybe. And this company, Ithaca Holdings, was like making less than 200 million a year in revenue, I believe. So it's like they're selling it at this crazy high valuation. And presumably that's because it includes the future perpetual rights to Justin Bieber and his brand, right?
Okay, I didn't even look at this.
And so, yeah, Justin then goes on this crazy, more than a year-long world tour where he happens to get COVID at the start of it, and then he happens to get an injury that looks an awful lot like a vaccine injury.
His wife also had she had a brain clot.
Exactly. And he winds up with half his face paralyzed, can't continue. Apparently, the tour was booked out on advances, which is not uncommon for the industry as far as I'm aware, but it was such a big tour. We're talking hundreds of millions, at least tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars advanced. And so when he's partway through this tour and then can't continue, suddenly there's a whole bunch of debt that's been incurred that's not getting paid back. And obviously then Justin goes to his management and is like, so we have insurance, right? This is no problem. We have insurance for this kind of a thing. And allegedly what then was told to him is that, no, you broke your contract. So there is no insurance payout here. You actually have to cover this debt. Like all of these things reflect on the management. Right. And how poor their management style is. So that all happens in the middle, and Justin is trying to get out, and Scooter's on the hook for $1 billion worth of value. Like he's promised $1 billion worth of Justin Bieber's future to this Korean company, which he's now on the board of. It feels to me like everyone is sort of trapped in bad ideas that are sort of leveraged to the hilt in terms of how much money is involved and how many promises are involved. And it all revolves around Justin continuing to produce music, which like anyone who's had a kid or a creative in their life knows that no creative dude like Justin is going to be producing hit singles if he hates you and you're trying to control his whole life. And so it feels like we're seeing not only these smear campaigns to try to get him back in line coming from Scooter, but it also feels like we're seeing Justin kind of acting out because he has no power. He's in secret litigation. They won't let him open a new clothing company. They won't let him like profess his faith in God, or they're slandering that. So it's messy in every direction.
Yeah. It's really interesting because it also makes you just revisit everybody in the past that has kind of gone through a similar thing, a similar cycle.
She now believes that people within the industry may now be trying to destroy Justin's life from within because he simply knows too much about Diddy. To them, he is a ticking time bomb.